The last mailbag of the year begins with the opening of Grandpa's Sweater Oatmeal Stout from Barnhammer Brewing Company right here in Winnipeg. A favorite of mine since I first discovered it several years ago. Lots of interesting stuff, I hope, today. So let us just get busy. This says glass heated bed clip. So I think, if that's not a lie, this is, yes it is. Yep, it's exactly what I thought. A month or two ago, I got one of these to try out for my 3D printer bed, and I liked it. I thought there was going to be more in the package, but there wasn't. So here we are, getting another bunch of them. This is 4 clips that are used to hold the glass bed onto the heated build platform of my 3D printer. Well, these ones came with little plastic washers and these springs here. Are there 4 of them? Kind of hard to tell, they're all linked together. I think there are 4 springs in total. Okay. I don't know why there are springs. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why there's springs, and I understand why there might be plastic shims, but not washers. What point does that serve? I don't get it. Unless the springs go under those or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to experiment with these. These have more parts than what the original one came with. But they are going to do the job quite nicely for holding my printer's bed on. 4 pieces, 3D printer parts, glass heated bed clip, clamp, heat bed clip, platform, retail, KD. Does it show in the picture what those washers do? Doesn't even show that they exist. Okay. Anyway, for the 4 of these, I paid $4.32 Canadian with free shipping. Not much else to say about them down here. Universal between 3 and 9 millimeter platform thickness. Sure. None of the other sellers seem to show springs or plastic washers with theirs either. I don't understand. Right, that's off to a good start. Let's see what's next. It says office equipment. Nice and vague. Wonder what it really is. Oh, it's another printer cartridge for my label maker. Where did it go? Yeah, this label maker here. It came with one, which is cool, but I figured with learning to use it and labeling all the spare parts stores and everything around here, I'm probably going to need another cartridge real soon, so I just went and ordered another cheap cartridge from China. Of course, I could have gone down to the local office supply place and paid 4 times as much, but why not see how well these work? 12mm, 9mm, TZ231, PTE 100B, D210, label tape for Brother P-Touch printer, and then random gibberish. I got which one did I get? The 12mm, which is that one there. There are also various different color combinations. I got black on white, but there's also different sizes and different color combinations. Might go with some of those eventually, but for now, I'm just going to go with a basic one. Oh yeah, and that cost $4.85, so very cheap compared to what the official ones from Brother cost. And since it isn't a Brother branded label maker anyway, I figured I might as well stick to the cheap knockoffs until they give me a reason not to. Cruising right along here. Next in is this fairly chunky package. It says USB cable on it. That's not a cutter. Oh wow. Couple of bundles of USB to coaxial connector. Okay. So let's just check these. You've seen these things before that I use and so many other people use just to get wires in and out of coaxial connectors, and I hope, yeah, that is the same one. Good. So this is 2 bundles of 5. Now, I didn't actually buy them for the coaxial connector end. I really bought them because I'm just tired of chopping up perfectly good USB cables to power things. So I figured I'd get some cheap USB to anything cables in order to use for that exact purpose when I need to chop up a cable just to source a power input for some project. So there we go. I got 10 of those. DC 5-volt USB-A male to 2.0 or 2.1 or 2.5 or 3.5 or 5.5 millimeter plug connector power supply cable cord. I got 10 of them in the 5.5 millimeter by 2.1 millimeter variety. There's the varieties available. And that bundle of 10 cost me $9.34 Canadian with another $1.76 shipping. So basically $1 per cable. And I'm hoping that they're better quality than I can get from the local dollar stores, which, the local dollar stores here in Canada don't sell anything for $1 anymore. Dollar Tree is like $1.50 minimum, and Dollarama is, up in the $2 or $3 range. Deals for dollars, not a single dollar anymore. So it doesn't say anything about the wire gauge, so I'm hoping that they're not too horrible. But for most of my USB powered projects, I don't need, 5 amps pulling through it or anything, so I should be okay. And like I said, they're cheap enough, so why not? Right, second last thing in, it calls itself PoE cable. So one thing, I have run into a few different things that can be powered by PoE, but I haven't had the capability before. So now, yes, that is exactly what I thought it was going to be. So in each bag, we have 2 cables, 2 adapters. They both have a female RJ45 on the other end, on one end. And on the other end, they have a male RJ45 with only 1 pair, or the 2 pairs, not the 4 pairs. So you can only run 100 base T. You can't run gigabit through it. And then beside them, they have male and female power connectors that we just saw a minute ago. So basically what this does is steals half of the conductors out of your Cat 5, Cat 6, whatever wiring, and uses that to run power down them, and then extracts and then runs the Ethernet on the other pairs. And like I said, this is pin 1, 2, 3, and 6. So that is standard for 100 base T wiring, which is not ideal, but for any experimental stuff that I'm using, that's probably good enough. And yeah, that's exactly the same thing there again. Right. Power over Ethernet passive PoE adapter injector plus splitter kit. 5 volts, 12 volts, 2 colors. 2 colors? Oh, black or white cabling. Okay. I got the black for whatever reason. $1.99 each, and I got 2 sets of it. Now, this is the lower tech of 2 different methods of doing power over Ethernet. There is a more high-tech method that will allow you to do gigabit Ethernet that will use all 4 pairs for both power and data, but this ain't that. This is just for lower speed stuff. And now, the last and largest package in. It came from a Canadian reshipping warehouse, so I don't know what this is. I don't remember ordering anything ridiculously huge, so we'll just have to see. Let me get this outer bag off. Oh, hey, it's a Christmas gift from Kaiweets. They did this last year too, so I wonder what kind of goodies they've got in here for me to show off to you guys this year. Well, first of all, up on top, they've got a bunch of stickers. Oh, a whole bunch of them. Okay. I'll add those, well, some of them anyway, to the decorations on the door of my beer fridge. Next, cloth. Last year it was a blankety thing. This says XL. Oh. 'Tis a golf shirt. Okay. With their logo on it. And some more logo-y stuff on the back. Very cool. They haven't sent me anything all year. This is kind of a nice surprise. I thought they'd forgotten about me. What do we have here now? Multifunction wire stripper. Okay. And it comes with a little Velcro strappy thing. I guess that's to keep it closed in your tool bag so it doesn't, cut you when you're grabbing. Ooh, nice and sharp. Cool. So cutters, and can we see through that? Can't really see light through there. That's good. They meet well. Nice and flush, cool. And stripping all the way from 10 AWG down to 20, or if you prefer, 2.6 millimeter down to 0.8 millimeter. Okay. Just slide that box out of the way. What's next in there? We have a set of 23-in-1 electronic test leads kit. Cool. Manual, whatever, it's test leads. So we've got a whole bunch of little probes of various types on here, and a couple of sets of cables in here. That is so standard meter bananas on that end to these little clips. I like those. I've got a few of those, not in test lead format, but just as little test clips. I like that style. Those are cool. This is, okay, so that is just meter socket on that end to shielded bananas on that end, which goes with all these various different probe tips. So we've got normal, sort of traditional meter style. We've got these ones that are nice and pokey and long and skinny. We got these that are the protected ones with a little condom on them and a little shelf so you don't hurt yourself accidentally that way. Just put that on there. We have these big clips, fairly strong. Do they have a rating on them? They call themselves Cat 2 1000 volt, Cat 3 600 volt, and 10 amp. Cool. So there's those big ones. There's these really needle-like ones. Those ones would insulation pierce, I think. So that's nice. Does that one go with it? Yeah. Oh, that's a shorter version of the same one. Okay. Ow. There's the long one, and there's a shorter one again. Okay. Wow. Lots of those. Insulation piercing. What else we got here? Some smaller clips with fairly strong spring on them. These. Oh, wow. Those are pretty cool, too. Clampy things. Excellent. That is a good variety. What else? There's one other thing in here. Oh, right. This is for measuring across SMD components. For just sort of tweezering on and measuring, voltages across SMD components in circuit. Do I have anything surface mount around here to show you? Yeah, so you just get in there like that, and with one hand you can measure both sides of a component and get the voltage across it, or if it's not in circuit, get the resistance or whatever. Use the LED test function on your meter. Cool. That's a hell of a variety of parts. Cool. Well, that's the case for that one. Okay. What else? What else we got in the box here? A little box. What's in the little box? What are you? Come out. Fighting with a little plastic bag. What is that? It is. Oh, it's just a little pouch for storing things in. Okay. What size is that? I'm not sure. Can you think of what would go in there? Business cards, maybe? Yeah, that's exactly what it fits, is business cards. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. And the last thing in the box is their HT118E digital multimeter. Oh, wow. The last few multimeters that they sent me to review were all the automatic ones, the auto ranging and everything. This one seems to be a bit more manual, a bit more traditional, and I kind of like that, actually. Because the automatic ones, while they can be convenient, they do have a bad habit of sometimes guessing wrong on what you want to measure. Sometimes they'll try and measure resistance in circuit instead of voltage, or vice versa. So it's nice to be able to just tell it exactly what you want to do. So we have the meter itself, which looks fairly traditional. We have another set of test leads, just like comes with every meter, with the standard probes that you see on just about everything these days. We've got the little keep your fingers off cap that you can put on or off, and it's got a little flanger to keep your fingers out of danger. Comes with a thermocouple. Okay. Batteries included. Always nice to see. Let's get these batteries in and just see if she lights up, shall we? Ooh, not a captive screw. Some of their other meters had captive screws, so you couldn't lose them. But that's okay. That fits on there reasonably well, and that looks like a fairly standard screw anyway, so I'm not all that bothered. So connect up the probes that come with it to the does everything hot side and the common, and we will turn it on. Oh, let's start with just volts, ohms, and diodes. There it is. Good. Functions chirpy. A little bit of a delay, but not too bad at all. Diode test mode. Where was those LEDs that I had there earlier? I also like, I don't mind the color screens, but on video, these monochrome screens are a lot easier to see. So there we go. I think you can kind of see that LED lighting up there. 1.86 volts forward. Cool. Should I run this through its paces right now? I don't know. Every meter that they've sent me, every meter that anybody's sent me in the last 2 or 3 years has always held up well in the reliability, the accuracy range. So let's just take a quick look and see what this thing can do. But I'm not going to put it through its paces. If I find that there's something weird about it, I'll let you know at some point. But anyway, we have volts, AC and DC with hertz, millivolts, AC and DC with hertz, just frequency with percentage, with duty cycle. We have ohms, diode measurement, and continuity beeper. We have capacitance. We have temperature, Celsius and Fahrenheit. Without the probe plugged in, it's just showing you the ambient temperature in the room as measured by, I guess, an internal thermistor. Then we have microamps, AC and DC with frequency, milliamps, AC and DC with frequency, and amps up to a 10 amp range, AC and DC with frequency, and then non-contact voltage / live mode. Try the non-contact voltage. Yep, it can tell that my glue gun is plugged in. Cool. What other features do we have? We have a backlight on the screen, and we have a flashlight on the back of there, work light, whatever you want to call it. Like every mailbag, I'll put links to all this stuff down below. Yeah, it's probably going to be affiliate links. Doesn't cost you any extra, but I might get a couple of pennies out of it. They didn't pay me anything for this. They just sent these. I didn't even know what they were sending, other than, I kind of guessed that they might be sending a shirt because they asked my shirt size. Anyways, should I? Yeah, maybe I'll go over to Kaiweet's website quickly and see if I can find this and this for you. So there's the meter, Kaiweet's HT118E digital AC/DC multimeter, 2 RMS, 20,000 counts? Yeah, that's what it says on the meter, 20,000 counts. Wow. So if you want to find out more about it, feel free to follow the link down below. I'm not going to read the entire thing. The manual is here if you want to download it and read it for yourself. Here's the wire cutters that we pulled out of the box at the beginning. The Kaiweet's KWS 102 2-in-1 wire cutter, 6-inch flush cut pliers, wire stripping cable tool. Don't know that there's much more to say about it other than what we saw when we were looking at it in real life. But again, if you want to learn any more about it, feel free to follow the link. And the test lead kit, Kaiweet's KET05 multimeter test leads kit, 23 pieces. So again, there's all the various different probes and clip adapters and that SMD tweezer kind of probe. It's nice to have a variety. I've never had quite this variety before. I do have some alternate clips and probes and things for my meters, but I think this is going to come in handy in some very specific circumstances in the future. And there is the contents of today's Mailbag Monday haul. Wow, lots and lots of things. Where do we start? The label maker tape, because label makers need consumables. The power over Ethernet cabling, just because I want to be able to experiment with that kind of stuff a little bit, and I didn't have anything that could do that, so there we go. These cheap USB cables, just so I don't cut up any good ones when I need to cable something. The 3D printer bed clips, they seem to be some good things when I got the first one, so I got a full set of them this time. And the haul from Kaiweet's that I wasn't even expecting. Wow. As usual, links to all this stuff will be down below. I don't know what else to say other than thanks for watching. Thanks for watching all year, and actually for the last, 6 or 7 years? Wow. I I wouldn't keep doing this if nobody was watching. I mean, I'm having fun doing it, and I'm hoping you're having fun watching too. Questions and comments down below in the comments section, as usual. Thanks to the Patreon supporters and the YouTube channel members for helping pay for some of this stuff and helping keep the beer fridge full and keeping the lights on. I truly appreciate that. Yeah. Here's to the end of another year. I will talk to you later.